I'd like to call the meeting of the Plaquemines Parish Council Audit Committee to order at 9 a.m. Machines are open for roll call. Let the record reflect all three members are present. Please stand for the pledge. Mark. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item, please.
Item 2, new business. 2A, motions to appoint chairman and vice chairman.
Go ahead. All mics are live. Okay, go ahead, Ronnie. Or Mr. Newsom.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Mr. Chris Schultz as chairman and Mr. Markonovich as vice chairman.
Any objections? Any comments? Second. Second by, or offered by Mr. Newsom, second by Councilmember Kognovich. Any comments? Machines are open. Let the record reflect 3-0. Next item, please.
B, discussion of COSO.
Mr. Duke,
Yes.
go ahead.
Welcome you guys to the 2023 first audit committee meeting of 2023. And I want to congratulate you all on your election.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at the framework for control. I'm just going to go over the first 7 slides. The last slide I'm going to go over, I think, is the most important. So let's take a look at the framework for control. And what we can do is at a later date, if you all like this presentation, what we can do is take a look at the full presentation, which would probably take, a little bit longer than we have this morning. So let's go through it. What is COSO? COSO is a committee of sponsoring organizations of the Treadaway Commission. It's a private sector initiative established in 1985 by 5 financial professional associations. Who? The Institute of Internal Auditors, American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, American Accounting Association, Institute of Management Accountants, and the Financial Executives Institute. Why was this created? COSO's goal was to improve the quality of financial reporting through a focus on corporate governance, ethical practices, and internal control. Definition of internal control put out by the Institute of Internal Auditors. It's a process affected by the entity's board of directors, management, and other personnel designed to provide reasonable assurance regarding the achievement of their goals and objectives. Categories: effectiveness and efficiency of operations, reliability of financial reporting, and of course compliance with applicable laws, regulations, and contracts and agreements. These 5 components of internal control are very important to Plaquemines Parish, in my opinion. Control environment, that's the tone at the top. What's the behavior of management regarding internal controls? Risk assessment, what can go wrong with each department? What can go wrong with each activity? Pay close attention to that and try to mitigate it. Through what? Through control activities, which is policies, procedures, rules, regulations, contracts, and agreements. Information and communication, how all 3 of these is communicated across the parish to achieve the results that we want. Monitoring, how all 4 of these are being monitored. And if they are being monitored, is it being monitored correctly? And are we achieving the goals and that the parish wants to achieve? Okay, so that's the 7. We can go, there's about You know, there's a lot that the COSO takes into place, and I'm hoping at a later date we can go through all of these and try to answer a lot of the questions concerning the internal control process.
Okay. Anybody wants to expand any further? No? All right, next item, please. Thank you, Mr. Duke.
Item C, discussion of the function of the PPG Internal Audit Department.
What does the Plaquemines Parish Internal Audit Department do? And what am I trying to do in regards to this department? The IIA has put out another, I think, very good definition of what internal control is. Internal auditing is an independent, objective assurance, consulting activity designed to add value and to improve an organization's operations. It helps an organization accomplish its objectives by bringing a systematic, disciplined approach to evaluate and improve the effectiveness of risk management, control, and the governance processes. We're here to help. We identify risks, find better ways and best practice, partner with you to find solutions, and to prevent problems. We report to the Plaquemines Parish Audit Committee, which ensures independence, elevates issues to a level where they can be corrected, keeps audit committees informed, meets quarterly. What is risk-based auditing? Focus on risk of occurrences that could prevent the parish from achieving its goals and objectives. There are many types of risk: fraud, improper reporting, ineffective or inefficient use of resources, credibility loss, etc. Focus on areas with high risk and high probability that controls are not in place and are weak. We have a plan, risk-based audit plan developed with input across the parish. Risk factors, impact, probability, and controls. What is the plan? List of audits for the calendar year based on a risk assessment and available man hours, approved by the audit committee and sent to the parish president. Auditable activities. What do we audit? We audit operations and compliance, departments, programs, grants, contracts, information technology systems, parish-wide processes. We do not audit specific individuals, human resource issues, sexual harassment, or other civil rights issues. Internal audit is the intake point for whistleblowers. Parish policy requires internal audit to receive audits of misconduct and fraud. Several ways to report: through email, phone, or walk into my office. Investigations of fraud and employee misconduct. Whenever possible, we will refer to the appropriate department or human resources for investigation. Parish policy requires the internal audit to investigate if financial and operational. Who are we? We're parish employees. Our employee, certified public accountant, certified internal auditor, certified information systems auditor, and certified inspector general auditor. It's the little things that can get you: misrepresenting hours, misreporting hours, forgetting to obtain prior approval when needed, using estimates that are not supported, any violation of parish policy. Preventive measures: make sure your controls are working. Review and reconcile. Check the work of your subordinates. Don't give in to the temptation to skip controls because you're busy. What is included or can be included in the report? What was found? What happened? What's required? What effect it has, exposure? What's our recommendation? And the management response. What happens after the audit? We have a follow-up. Review corrective action. Report to the audit committee and parish management. Who Who audits the auditors? Peer review process. Our standards are set by the Institute of Internal Auditors and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. What happens after the audit? Follow up, review, corrective action, and report to the audit committee. And okay, so we're here to help. We provide training, respond to policy and technical accounting questions, offer suggestions for improvement, and we act as an advisory role. This is me. I am Chief Auditor of Plaquemines Parish Government.
Thank you, Mr. Duke. Any questions, comments? Next item, please.
D, discussion and adoption of the 2023 schedule of audit priorities.
Schedule of audit priorities. Number 1, Flood Control Department, employee expense reimbursements, public health ambulances, waterworks and sewage, boat harbors and shipyards, maintenance, ferries, telecommunications.
Are any of these actually in progress yet? The first
Yes,
one or
the
two? I know.
first one's in progress. It just needs to be approved.
Okay. Any comments, additions?
Can we add one?
Can we, Mr. Duke?
Sure,
The quad, the baseball quad?
sure. Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Akanovich, where would you like to place that one? Is that, do you see a big risk in it? Should we place it at the top of the list or in the beginning?
Like to find out what's being spent?
Okay. I just want to know how important that is to you, and should we put it, in the beginning?
You can.
Okay. We'll put that
Yeah,
up.
let's put it towards the beginning, maybe 4
Okay, we'll put.
or so,
That's
because
good.
quad's supposed to open,
That's
what,
good
this
with
summer?
Mr.
So
Conovich.
that way we can maybe get some answers before the quad actually opens.
Good. Sounds good.
Does that work for everybody? All right. All right. Anything else?
We need to vote.
All right.
I'll offer.
Offer by Kognovich,
Second.
second by Mr. Newsom. Any comments? Machines are open. Let the record reflect 3-0. Next item, please.
Agenda item 3, audits in progress. 3A, mosquito control internal audit.
On November 1st, 2022, I completed an audit. This particular audit was not, did not go through the committee, so I wanted to bring it through this committee to make sure that it was documented through a committee. Let us turn to page 8 of this report. We'll go through the observations. Observation number 1, mosquito control department policies and procedures. There doesn't appear to be any day-to-day mosquito control policies and procedures in place. I recommend that these policies be put in place, available for review by parish internal auditor and other parish and state-approved auditors and agencies. Management responded that they concurred with this observation. Mosquito
Duke.
Control Department 2022.
Hold on, Mr. Duke.
So, on this audit, have you, I see some of the older, Mr. Peens in there. Have you spoke to Mr. Hinckley about their putting these policies and procedures in place?
No, not yet, but I'm going to send him a copy of this report.
Okay, thank you.
Number 2, Mosquito Control Department 2022 user fees. Ordinance number 2022 was brought forth to the council to recede ordinance 2106, the mosquito control user fee schedule, attachment 3. My recommendation, the auditor recommends that the parish council does not adopt the ordinance to recede the mosquito control user fees in the amount of $907,000 approximately per year. The parish needs to increase their yearly revenue. In my opinion, decrease in parish revenue could lead to shortfalls. Unexpected events can always happen, and this revenue can help offset revenue shortfalls. Management responds, this revenue stream has been a great help to the department's budget.
Mr. Duke, do you know if this,
It was vetoed.
oh, well, it was vetoed, correct. But for, I guess, 2021 was a full year. Did that cover all the expenses for the mosquito control budget? Or did we still have to do a transfer into?
Let you transfer in. Yeah, this was just a part of the budget. And according to Ms. Crystal, Ms. Taylor, it helped
Okay,
balance her budget.
okay. Continue. Or any other comments on that? All right, continue.
Mosquito Control Department 2022 complaints. It does appear that there have been complaints regarding the lack of mosquito control spraying in certain areas. However, according to the document he's found, they are being resolved. My recommendation is to ensure that these complaints are resolved quickly, ensure that the Mosquito Control Department's chemical spraying, other employee work time services are performed in accordance with parish policy regulations and contracts. Management response was that the complaints are being received and handled in a timely manner. It came to my attention that most of these complaints had to do with weather. And of course, we can't control the weather, although we keep trying to. But, those are things that just pop up and we can't control it. But we still need to make sure that, every parish is getting the services that they're paying for. Number 4, Mosquito Control Department expenditures. There appears to be an increase in Mosquito Control Department expenditures occurring in 2021. The amount of $676,000 versus 2022, approximately $924,000, resulting in an increase of roughly $248,000 increase in expenditures. See Table 3. The largest dollar increases appear to be in 2022, personal services, financial-related services, and operating services and supplies, indicating an increase of mosquito control services being rendered to parish residents during 2022. However, it does appear that some parish residents have complained that the mosquito control trucks are not spraying in these areas, less chemicals and employee time being used in some parish areas. My analysis would be if there's less mosquito control spraying, less employee time used, some areas that could result in a decrease in actual expenditures during 2022 instead of an increase of $247,000 or $248,000. My recommendation, let's make sure that, this increase in mosquito control expenditures is accurate, correct, and is not overstated. Management response, Mr. Duke, 2022 mosquito activity has appeared to be more than 2021, requiring more fuel, more chemicals, and with antiquated trucks and spray units, more repairs. Economically, we've seen an increase in cost over these years. The administration is aware of the increase of cost in operations of this department and has determined that the increases are justified.
Did they think we bought 3 new trucks? How many trucks do they have in there?
Oh,
Did
goodness.
they ever tell you?
Yeah, I think that's way back in the beginning here. Let's see. Turn to the background section. I've got something on that. Yeah, that's going to be. Mosquito Control Department has a total of 12 employees, 6 employees, part-time spray. It's a driver. The trucks are equipped with electronic tracking devices, the equipment. They didn't tell me how many trucks at this time. They just told me that the equipment is being tracked, the mileage and speed is being tracked as well. But they didn't tell me how many trucks.
Did they tell us how much we pay them to track the trucks? Because that's a new expense.
Yeah, well, I think we know that because that's in the budget.
And then, are we still paying for a plane, and are they using it?
That's a good question. I didn't see that in the budget. I didn't see any aerial plane or anything like that in the budget, but I'll double check for you, Mr. Konovich. I'll double check on all that for you and shoot you an email.
Because that's a lot of expense from 2021 to
Yeah,
22.
yeah, that just popped out at me. It just didn't seem right.
Then financial and related services, it went from 13,000 to 127,000.
That's another one that popped out too.
What was that exactly? Because that's a huge increase for financial related services. Do we know
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what that was
what I
tied to?
did was, when I questioned and it appears to be okay, because what they're doing is they're making a end of the period adjustment. Okay, and it's based on estimates on how many people, how many other departments are using certain things like Xerox and different things, and they use an estimate to make an end of the period adjustment, which would bring a lot of these costs in line. Now, I did inquire about the estimate, and the estimate goes way back, so I think they're still looking at that.
What does the mosquito truck need a Xerox copy machine for?
Well, this is inter-office type of adjustment at the end of the year. It has nothing to do with trucks.
Because that's why I asked for the baseball quad to be looked into, because I know money was moved.
Yeah.
And I'm,
Right. Well, that's what I need to know too. I needed those particular areas that you're zeroing on, so I can check those out.
So on this estimate, I mean, 13,000 last year, okay, estimate 20,000 makes sense, but 114,000 increase, that seems
Well,
rather
It does seem
large for an estimate. And, I mean, I understand cost goes up, but not that much.
right. Right.
So I'm just trying to figure out exactly what, I mean, could this be related to the new trucks that were purchased?
Well,
No? Or,
no, because even operating services and utilities.
Exactly, went up. yeah,
way up.
$600. Supplies, I know chemicals cost more,
but not that much.
but
Yeah. Yeah, this may, if we want to, I think you're right, I agree with you, and that we can do some additional investigation on this.
Yeah, I kind of think we need to, because the 114,000 for financial related services just
Now-
is very
now
high,
the-
increase of 114,000.
And it's interesting that you bring up the idea of trucks, because in the management response, they don't talk about new trucks. They talk about
I remember
old trucks.
ordinance, they had 3 trucks and a couple lawnmowers we bought from a
Okay.
grant.
And when those were bought in 2021?
Yeah,
Okay, so my question would be,
because I still
why,
haven't found them.
why haven't they said something about the new trucks in the response? They're only talking about antiquated trucks, antiquated spray units, and requiring more repairs. So therefore, if they bought new trucks, they shouldn't have those expenses at all, right?
Because I brought it up after we voted on it, because it was special lawnmowers we bought because they was extra wide to do a steep incline.
Okay,
And I asked where they was at, because nobody knows where they was at.
well, you see,
And now we
that's
got,
the problem, right?
and there was
Yeah,
mosquito trucks on that same invoice that we voted on.
okay. So what we need to do is pull that documentation, check a look at it and investigate, because I agree with every one of you. It looks strange.
Yeah, I mean.
It looks like it's overstated to me. So that's,
I mean, because that's actually more than the operating services and supplies, which we know cost of chemicals go up, but
right.
that's only $86,000 increase compared to 114 for financial related. I think we need to
And yeah,
get a better answer on that.
I agree, and we probably need to tie down this estimate as well, and how the estimate was arrived at as well, going back, I think, maybe 15 years ago. So we'll check into that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Mosquito control contracts, bid process, advertisement, and correspondence. I found no issues with that, no action required. So that does it for this report.
I got another question for you.
Okay.
When you, electronic tracking devices, did you look into that at all? What all does it record, and is there a database on that, like, that tracks where they are or anything like that?
Yeah, they have a GPS
Okay.
on each
You're
truck.
supposed to get online, be able to get online
There's a,
and
yeah,
see where they spray.
Because that's one thing I
it's
want.
computerized.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to look into in the future is if it's online already, giving that out. That way people can see, hey, did they actually spray in my neighborhood?
Yes.
Or when was the last time they sprayed? So,
That's-
because that's one of the complaints, but they come at late hours sometimes, so people are already asleep. So,
The problem is with mosquito control, the best time to spray is dusk and dawn.
correct.
Right.
Other than that, if it's too windy, if it's raining or anything like that, you're
That's
just
the
wasting
problem.
money.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. The weather has a lot to do with it.
Okay, I guess if you could follow up on that, those couple items we talked about, and my understanding is mosquito control is now under Director of Operations, Mr. Witchers. They did some reorganizing to get more in line with the charter. Because I was asking about mosquito control the other day, and Mr. Witchers got it. So I guess if you could follow up with
To
him.
get with him on a lot of these issues.
Yeah, and since it's a new administration, to see what if they've been able to look into.
Very good. Very, very good. Yep.
All right. Next, any other comments, Mr. Newsom? All right, next item, please.
Agenda item 4, approval of the minutes from the August 8th, 2022 meeting.
I'll offer.
Offered by Mr. Congovich.
Second.
Second by Mr. Newsom. Any comments? Machine's open for roll call, or for call. Let the record reflect 3-0. No other business. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Congovich, second by Mr. Newsom. Machine. Let the ref, 3-0. Motion or adjournment at 9:28 a.m.